Okay, it's working, yay. I almost gave up going live because it wasn't, it didn't want to go live, so I did some phony techie things like turn it off and turn it back on again, and I'm like, yes, it's gonna work. I meant to go live, rather I made it happen. Are there times where you put things off because it doesn't work, or it's too hard, or you're like, oh, it's a sign, I'm not meant to do it, so you walk away? Do you do that? I'm really, really curious. Hey, Aurora. Yay, I love having Aurora back again. Just come out of the Life Purpose Mentorship, doing a live in there. So, okay, sweet. I'm going to share this. Releasing roles and finding your soul. Let me share this. Okay. So I need to just share this. So let me know. Let me know. Say hi. Hey, Aurora. Say hi. Let me know you're here. Releasing roles and finding your soul. Tell me if you found your soul. That's what I'd like to know. Say, yes, Hannah, I found my soul, or say, still soul searching, or say, I don't know. Let me know. Let me know where you're at with that. Releasing roles and finding your soul. I'm just sharing this and then I'll be present with you. And seeing if anybody else is going to join us live. Haven't done a late night live stream for a while. That's not in my private group anyway. In a live streaming kind of mode, because I actually got a lot to say. Soul searching. I have found parts. Woohoo! That's what I was hoping people would say. Because there's always layers. There is always parts. I think that if anybody was truly enlightened on the planet, that that we just kind of wouldn't be in this dimension anymore, right? I really do believe that if we were conscious all of the time, we just literally wouldn't be in this dimension. Like, we just wouldn't be here. Because, you know what I mean? Like, and some people like hate on their ego. And I think hating on anything is like really low vibrational, you know, in that sense. And it's like, if you are hating on your ego, you're really like, you're doing the ego stuff, right? But the point I wanted to say there as well, oh, thanks for the share, Aurora. I just saw that. Yay. Yeah, 5D. So, you know, like that is, you know, that, I think the 5D space, sorry, I'm just going to make sure I turn this down. Okay, cool. So I can see the comments. Nothing but love. Yeah, 100%, right? So the 5D consciousness is the heart space. Like if we're going to describe it as something, it's heart space, yeah? It's 100% fully in the heart space. And, you know, when people, like I said, hate on their ego, I think that it's also like hating, like you're doing the ego thing when you're hating on your ego. I actually have a lot of love for my ego, because my ego is a big part in keeping me human and keeping me alive. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we've got this physical human body and this, you know, physical part of us. Like in our, I guess, our conscious mind is, you know, our ego is part of our conscious mind. So without that, you know, we wouldn't have our physical world, I don't believe. Would we? If we didn't have ego? Can you guys let me know? Like, what do you reckon about that? Like, if we didn't have ego, we wouldn't have our physical world. So I wonder if like the new earth is just like not even here. like it is in another dimension, right? Please let me know, guys. I see there's all these people joining live. Say hi. Let me know you're here. Give me some love hearts. Talking soul deep stuff tonight, and talking about releasing roles to find your soul. So let me know if you've found your soul or not. Yeah? Because in this whole thing of like, you know, if we actually hate on our ego, we're going to keep that space. Like we're doing our ego stuff because hate is that. It's like same as, you know, people say, like for bad people, like so murderers or victim, or, you know, like, do you know what I mean? Like when there's, just putting that over there, don't need that right now. Yay Casey, lovely to have you here. Is this your first time, Casey? I don't really recognize your name here, but you're saying that you love when I go live, so you've obviously seen me before. I don't recognize your name. It was like the first time I've seen you on a live, I guess I was saying. So what am I saying here? I am sharing the point that when people are like hating on anything, I don't care if it's they're murderers, I hate them, they're bad, they need to go to jail, they did wrong, they, blah, 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 right? Oh, you watch me all the time. How come I've never seen your name before? That's so weird, right? Like, I don't know, like, what's with that? Have you ever commented before in my live streams? I haven't actually. How can I not know you if you've seen? I want to get to know you. Tell me more. So, like, in that sense, it's like if you are hating on something or a situation has happened to you and you are hating on the other person. So I'm going to pull a few scenarios out of the hat right now, okay? I'm going to pull out, so like the murderers or the sexual predators or all of that stuff. Now, I'm not saying that it's okay, right? Yeah, so weird, Casey. I'm not saying that what they have done is okay, all right? But what I'm also not doing is hating the fuck on them, okay? Because that hate is doing a couple of things. One, it's pouring that negative energy into the planet. It's also keeping them stuck in their role that we've got a label for them. So pedophile, murderer, shooter, whatever, okay? Now I'm going pretty dark into the pretty edgy stuff right now, yeah? Like this is like dark side humanity, okay? Now I am sharing, unconditional love, right? You will only get to that space, right? Now, like I said, it's not that I'm saying it's okay, but I also don't sit there and go, it's so wrong, oh, it's so bad, it's so like, oh, and then, oh, the poor person, oh, you know, like, it's not that I don't have compassion for that situation, but I also know the power in seeing the bigger picture. I know the power comes from within me and healing that situation in myself. So when we look at, you know, like the sexual predator or the murderer or anything like that, there's a power and like an overpowered and a powerless space, right? And if we're actually talking about, you know, like finding your soul, when we are actually judging somebody for something, even if it's bad, we are giving our power away to them. How you pull your power back and how you empower yourself is realizing that you have a trigger about that situation and actually going, oh, I'm really fucking triggered right now. I need to do some work here. And so there's that situation. There's also the situation of the single mums and the single dads. I feel like I want to do a live stream specifically on like talking to single mums, but maybe this will get it in a short way, I guess, to the point way, is that when we can, so I'm talking about single mums here, talking to you guys single mums, and I can say it like this because I am a single mum, but I also have shifted through this space. And it's not that I'm saying you're bad or I'm not saying you even do it, but if you get triggered by what I'm about to say, then please take note. Now, you don't even need to be a single mum. You could be a woman who has had a really volatile relationship or a really crappy relationship with any man in your past, or woman. Yeah? When you sit there and you bitch and you gossip and you say how bad they are and you say that they're like, I don't know, they cheated on you perhaps, or maybe they're just an asshole, or maybe, you know, like they're, you know, they did all these things wrong and you were like, you know, they could never do anything right because it's just like as soon as they walk in the door, you're just like picking at them because it's just like they're not, you know, don't sit there, or don't, like, how can you do that? Like, you know, because what that is you've got unmet needs in yourself and you're not meeting them yourself, right? We're talking about taking responsibility here for our entire reality, right? And then it's like, well, I'm the one who looks after the kids all the time and I don't get any time for myself, or, you know, like, just kind of like, have you worked that out together then, right? Have you even had a conversation, or do you just nitpick as soon as you get in the door? Because I tell you the thing about nitpicking or creating, you know, like if there's any sort of right in a relationship, especially for a mom with a partner, like a, you know, a single mom, or obviously wouldn't be a single mom with a partner, but do you know what I'm saying? If you're in a relationship, what that usually is at its core is you don't want to be in the fucking relationship, and you don't have the balls, the woman balls, the courage to leave the relationship. Now I can say that because I know, and I've been there. I would nitpick, I would make that person, like, tell them everything that they're doing wrong. I'd be like, oh, I don't like that, you need to change that, or that doesn't resonate with me, or, you know, rather than me going, you know what, this actually isn't in alignment with you, see ya, right? And I guess I'm sharing this, right, and I'm talking about, oh, hey Ricky, thanks, I didn't see your comment come up there. I'm talking from a single mum point now, right? So single mums that you've separated and you're still bitching about the man, the ex, the father of your children. When you say how bad they are, whether your children are around you and in the vicinity of being able to hear you or not, energetically, they are carrying every ounce of how you feel about your partner, whether you speak about it in front of them or not. Energetically, your children are like sponges. They do what you do, not what you say. They are taking everything on board by osmosis, okay? Now, when you sit there and, you know, and I'm not saying that the situation you're in is not bad, and especially if you're in domestic violence or anything like that, right? Like, you need to get the help and support. You need to go through court. I'm saying you need to do all that stuff. But I'm also saying that in that space, don't compound it by pouring that negative energy and all your hurt and pain and frustration about saying how bad that person is. Yes, they might have done bad things. It's the same as the pedophile, and the same as the murderer, and same as the shooter, and same as all that. There's no difference here, because what this is three fingers pointing back at you and one finger pointing at them. So let's like pull the pistol back around and come into us, because it's this that actually needs something that it's not getting. At its core, truth bumps, yes. At its core, that is all it is. Now, the other thing I want to just point out here, the message that's coming to mind is, you know how I was just saying, I see you guys joining live too, so you might want to rewatch the start of this, but you also might be coming on at the point you just need to hear this. You know how I said at the start about the murderer and the pedophile and like they're so bad? Like, we have a label and we've just kind of slapped it on them energetically. That is also not helping them, okay? So if you think about and take that in the context, now I'm talking about a single mum talking about their ex-partner, so their father or their kids, but you can also rewire that if you're, you know, a man and you start bitching about your ex, whether your kids are in the vicinity of you or not, that energetically, there's no difference between in the physical vicinity or not, right? So when you can actually get that, when you really, really get that, right, then you will stop gossiping and you will deal with your emotions so that emotionally it's not spilling onto your kids or into the world, right? So as I just said, right, that label that you have of the murderer, of the pedophile, whoever it is that you're judging, of your ex-partner, when you're bitching about them and how bad they are, so I'm talking about a mum as talking about a father now, so like the father doesn't do this or doesn't do that, or it's not to your standard. Thanks, Aurora. So I see your comments too, Ricky. I'll speak to that in a moment. When you actually, you know, like throw that label, i.e. bitching about how bad they are as a dad because they didn't feed your kid the right food, or they didn't feed your kid by a certain time. Like, you throwing that label on them is keeping them stuck in that energetic perception too. You're not giving them space to transform. Now, I'm not saying, you know, that, I mean, like, some dads do need to step up. Like, I get that, you know, just like some women need to step up, right? I'm not saying anyone's bad, wrong, right or wrong. I'm just saying, especially if you're